when fear becomes toxic. Girls' Day on LBI and a Wawa drive-thru?
Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit Hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Hello and welcome to the freaking weekend. That's right, it is Friday, July 17th, 2020, day 279 of Gotta Get on Ellen. I forgot to do the speech countdown. What is it? 12 days. 12 days until my very first speaking event. I hope you will join me. It's very important, as you will hear in my blog post for today. My girl Libby came to visit me again. She was here last week, spent the night. She came down for the day on Wednesday. I don't know if you saw the pictures that I posted on the Hopefulist page, but we hit LBI. Now, she was going to come down. We were going to just lay out in the sun and relax, have a good girls' day. But when she got here, it was quite cloudy. I don't know what happened. It was supposed to be like the best day of the week. It was the pick of the week. So she got here, I don't know, around 10:30, 11, something like that. I was like, do you want to maybe hit the island and do some shopping or something? There's a little store there that I get my headbands from. Yes, Michelle, I did go to that store, and I will text you about some of the selections that they had. Everybody seems to love the headbands that I wear, and I get them at this little store on LBI, and they're adorable. And it's so funny because I almost missed them completely, because when I walk in, they're usually right there on the wall when you first walk into the store. It's a little store in Bay Village in Beach Haven, and I don't know the name of it. I know where it is, but I'm not sure. Making Waves? Something like that. I'm not sure. So I went in there, I look at the wall, and they have like the headbands that are like crisscross, like at the top, or just more decorative ones. And my headbands are thick and long and provide a lot of coverage. I can make it a tiny little headband, or I can make it cover my entire head. It's more just like a round scarf attached. So, I mean, it's not as long as a scarf, but these are the ones that I prefer. And I couldn't find them on the wall. And I'm like, what happened to them? Because I wore those during quarantine when my hair was all gray rooted up constantly. And I'm just like, why? Why do they not have them? This is my go-to spot for my headbands. And everybody always commenting on my headbands. So I was like, here I am telling everybody to come here for the headbands. And they don't have them anymore. So it's one of those cute little shops that has like a little bit of everything, a lot of jewelry and some clothes and all kinds of things. So we were shopping around. I found an awesome starfish ring that I purchased. Got myself a new toe ring. I haven't had a new toe ring in a very long time. I got my last one when we were in Key West on our cruise. So that was a year and a half ago. So I figured I was due for a new toe ring. So I go up to the cashier and I'm like, all right, I'm ready to check out. She's like, okay. She starts to she didn't actually start to ring me up yet, thank goodness, because then I might have just, but as I'm standing at the cashier, there is like one of those little stands that you can just roll from the top and show. There's my headbands on the stand next to the register. And I'm like, wait. I just found what I'm looking for. Give me a few minutes. And I got myself a couple of new headbands. And I need them bad because now that I have my hair done, I started wearing my hat again. And I like my hat. it's cute and adorable, of course. I mean, I wouldn't have bought it if it were anything else. But the one problem I've always had with hats sitting out on the sign is they blow off. They can just blow right off your head. I haven't had that much of a problem this year, but the one thing that I forgot, and this is the reason why I stopped wearing hats and started wearing these headbands to cover my hair with the headband rather than wear a hat. They're hot. Boy, they just make you so much hotter, these hats. Oh, geez. So I'm very happy. I got one that matches my red, white, and blue flag bathing suit perfectly. And we had a very lovely day out. We went to a place called Bird and Betty's, has a nice, huge open area deck overlooking the water. And we had an adult drink or two. Poor Libby still cannot eat because she has her, I don't know if you remember me telling you, she broke her jaw. And she has her mouth wired. And I thought, Libby can come visit whenever she wants because it's, typically when people come to visit, I'm like, all right, well, let's go here and get something to eat, and let's go grab some donuts here, and let's do this, and let's do it's all involving food. And I'm like, oh, well, I won't do that with her because she can't really eat anything. She has to blend everything that she eats and then suck it up through a straw. But no, I found a way. I was like, well, she can still drink. Why don't we stop and get a drink? And then I was hungry, so I'm like, well, I'm just going to get this little pizza. Is that okay? And she's like, no, seriously, you eat. Don't make you feel guilty for eating. So I still found a way around it. Last night was my book club. It was my pick. I got to pick the book that we read, The Silent Patient, which was recommended to me by my niece, Samantha. They loved it. Loved it. It's always so cool when the whole group loves your book choice. In fact, they even applauded me. They're like, all right, yay, Wendy, for the great book choice. Woo! Everybody loved the book. So very, very happy about that. We had it at the backyard of one of our group members, and she put out a bunch of individually served snacks. She put out, the little tiny shot glasses. She had put some cocktail sauce in that and put like 3 or 4 shrimp in those, so they were single serve. She did the little skewer with a tomato, mozzarella, and some basil. She put them in the little shot glasses for single serve. I mean, she just really did it up good. So good for you, Tracy, handling the pandemic, but yet still being social and socially distant. Work very, very well. I was very excited to see that because I was discussing this with my husband, and I came up with this, and obviously it's not a brilliant idea, but I thought it was kind of cool that I had said to my husband just a few days ago, I said, when it comes to sports and the fact that nobody's really allowed in the stadium, do you think that they'll use like canned applause or something like they do on TV shows? Yes, that's indeed what they're gonna do. The MLB will be pumping crowd noise into the stadium. They said they're going to be using noise from some certain video games. So it'll be cool for the players to hear cheers and applause, and it'll make it feel just a tiny bit more normal. It'll be a little weird hearing all the crowd noise without the crowd, but again, I'll take what I can get at this point. I may even watch baseball because you know what? I am starved for my sports. I'm so hoping that football doesn't get put off. They've had plenty of time to figure it out. They have to have had come up with some kind of plan and system that the football season can go off on time without a hitch. I know they've already discussed shortening the preseason. Fine. Shorten the preseason. Do not shorten the regular season. Please, I need my football. Need it. Some interesting news that I saw this morning on the news. Wawa is testing out their very first drive-thru. This is going to be in Burlington County, and it's a way for them to help people remain socially distant. They are going to have a special menu. My guess is it would be easiest to use like their app and pre-order, and then that way it's just waiting for you when you get there. I don't really know how it's going to work. I know that it's not like a McDonald's, though. You can't just drive up and be like, yeah, I'll have a French vanilla creamer. Let's see, get me a donut from the bakery. There's going to be a special menu. Not really sure how it's going to work, but I think this is a great idea. I love drive-thrus. I love not having to get out of my car. But, I'm very lazy. Maybe not everyone is as lazy as I am. But I love the drive-thru. I go through the drive-thru pharmacy. I go through the drive-thru Chinese pickup place. If I can drive through, I'm driving through. I go through the drive-thru ATM. Love it. Love driving through. So, the topic that we were discussing on the Facebook page was about coffee. Do you prefer Dunkin' coffee or Wawa? I have to say it was a landslide for Wawa. There's a couple of people who chimed in with Dunkin', but I'd say 85% of this particular survey went to Wawa. Dunkin' has a little bit of a bitterness to it that I'm not crazy about. Marcy says definitely Wawa because Dunkin' is too strong. I agree, and that's what I said. It's a little bit of bitterness to it, but they do have a blueberry shot that you can put in it. And you know how I am about my blueberry. Now, Kathy chimed in with Wawa's new blueberry cobbler. Yeah. I went last week on the way to the beach to watch sunrise with my girl Libby, and they didn't have it. They had the big carafe out. They had another big carafe behind the carafe, but there was a closed sign on it. So I said to the woman at the coffee station, is there a blueberry on the way? And she went, no, ma'am. Okay. I guess no further explanation was needed. So one of these days I will get to try the new blueberry cobbler at Wawa. I hear it is for a limited time. If it's very popular, I'm sure it will be added eventually, so we'll see. Jim says Wawa for sure. I like Dunkin' too, but Wawa is the perfect coffee, and they carry the Hopefulist French vanilla creamer. Yes, I love my French vanilla creamer from Wawa. Michelle says Wawa if I had the option. Michelle does not have Wawa's where she lives. Gigi says Dunkin'. She likes Dunkin'. Deborah says Dunkin'. But everybody else prefers Wawa coffee. I know, it's huge around here. I'm not even crazy about Wawa coffee. I like the creamer. Wawa's still even a little too strong for me. I was getting into their flavored coffees like the vanilla and all. At least kind of a weird aftertaste, I think. So I typically prefer my own coffee at home. But again, I use blueberry cobbler at home. So I have to maybe take a break from it or something because I've gotten so used to the blueberry taste. I don't even seem to taste it anymore, if you know what I mean. But once August rolls around, especially September, they will have the pumpkin-flavored coffee. So I'll probably switch off to that for a couple of months, and then I'll go back to the blueberry. I like flavored coffee. I don't know if you noticed. Today's blog post, we are talking about fear and toxicity. That's right. We've been talking about removing the toxicity from your life for the last couple of weeks, and I had a big realization. Let's put it that way. I've been in a slump. I seem to have lost my motivation. I've looked and looked. Can't find it anywhere. For the past month, I haven't been able to bring myself to do all of the amazing work I had been doing. I took a week off for staycation with my husband, and I haven't been able to get back on track since. And I just couldn't figure out why. Now, I've been doing my blog and my podcast every day, but I haven't really been working on anything else. I have my speech coming up in less than 2 weeks, and I've been focusing all of my attention on that. Or have I? I discussed my first public speaking event with the venue back in February. July seems so far away then. I had so much time to prepare, so I kept putting it off and putting it off. Now, it's almost here. And I'm still not preparing for it properly. I've cleared my schedule for only this one thing, and therefore, I'm getting nothing done. I discussed it with my husband yesterday. I told him, I don't know why I can't seem to get anything done. I literally read books all day long. Can't bring myself to do anything else. In fact, I couldn't even bring myself to do the blog and the podcast yesterday, and I never do that, ever. After I finally decided I wasn't going to do the podcast, I went right back to bed. Then I got up, still didn't work on my speech, started reading again, did that for a while, went back, and then took my regularly scheduled nap. Like, what the hell is wrong with me? This isn't me. I don't seem depressed. In fact, life is good. So what's going on? Finally dawned on me this morning. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of doing this speech. I'm afraid it will suck. I'm afraid I will be a disappointment. I'm afraid no one will come. I'm afraid people will come. And I'm letting it affect my entire business. I'm letting my fear paralyze me. I'm letting my chances go by because I can't overcome this fear. I met with the venue earlier this week, and there are only 2 people signed up to come, but thank you so much, Adele and Megan. It was a bit disappointing. It's a weird time. I know. People are not really going out much. Still big bummer. The woman talked to me about the possibility of canceling it. I said, oh, no, I won't cancel. But 2 more days went by, and I still couldn't force myself to prepare for the speech, so I thought maybe I should. Maybe I should just cancel it. Then I asked myself, how would I feel the day after the canceled speech? How disappointed will I be that I gave up my big chance? Because honestly, even if it's only 2 people, and I know at least 5 more are coming, they just haven't signed up yet, maybe I can get through to them. If I can make a difference in just 2 people's lives, I call that a win. It's going to be great practice for me. It's going to be a way to get my speaking skills on camera. It's a win-win all around. If I don't suck. But I can't believe I'm letting this fear dictate my entire life for at least a whole month now. I know better than this. I tell you to not let this happen, yet here I am doing it myself. I'm ashamed. Not only would canceling this event haunt me forever, but I will literally be a fraud. It's a toxic fear. I'm letting it take over my life and crush all my dreams. I realized all of this just in time. Just in time to do something about it. Just in time to prepare properly and kill it. This is my dream. So the fear of failure is huge. It's natural. It's expected. But it only affects me if I let it. I am dedicating the next week and a half to doing nothing except working on this speech, including not starting any new books, so I don't even have that excuse. Because I can't let fear stop me from my dreams. I have to get it in line and show it who's boss. Me. I'm the boss. I call the shots, not fear. Your first thought is your intuition. Your second thought is your fear. They go hand in hand. Don't let fear stop you from the life you really want. The worst part is I'm supposed to already know this, but I've let it affect me for the past month without really even figuring out what the problem was. It was all subconscious. But I'm still learning and growing. So I hope you grant me some grace. This speech is such a big deal for me. It is what I planned to do to make money in the next few years. And if it sucks, if this speech fails, I feel like my business will be over. It's not true. Because even if it isn't as good as I want it to be, even if I forget whole parts of the speech, even if I freeze up and fumble and stumble over my words, I will have the experience. I can review what went wrong, what went right, and move forward knowing a little bit better. Now, I don't want to disappoint people. This is my biggest fear. People are actually putting money out for this, and I want it to be a great experience. And I know it can be if I prepare properly. I am the only one who can make that happen. So please, please do what I say, not what I do. I'm kidding. Of course, I'm going to be doing it. But don't be like me. Don't let an overwhelming, paralyzing fear stop you from going after your goals and your dreams. I am just grateful I realized it in time. I have a lot of work to do, but I can do it. I can get it done. I have to. My new favorite phrase, I can, I will, I must. Ask yourself, what is something you gave up on because you may have been too afraid to continue? There will always be fear. Learning how to navigate around it is the only way to move forward for the life you desire. It is Cocktail Friday, y'all. Are you ready for an adult beverage? I know I will have earned one at the end of today. Woo, go have yourself a weekend. Stay safe in whatever you do. And as always, I'm cheering you on.
Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist, hosted by Wendy McClure. For more inspiration, please visit Hopefulist.com. Thanks, and we'll see you tomorrow on The Hopefulist.
Get on out there and be a badass.